This device, quite frankly, belongs in the US bin. As you guys know, I have a soft spot for old phones and tech, but this is so bad that I can't even recommend this as a dumb phone. So let's talk about Huawei Mediapad T3. So this is the 7-inch variant. There is a 10-inch variant too of this same device with different specs, and that is a much better device than this actually. So this device released back in 2017. This type of tablet used to be really famous back then, but nowadays we are seeing big tablets only like 10-inch, 11-inch, even Samsung are selling 14-inch tablets. But there are few tablets from maybe Asus or maybe from Red Magics which got this type of form factor and with a great hardware. So those devices also available, but rarely you will find those kind of devices. So the device got 7-inch display. This is a 600p display, not even HD. But as far as viewing angle and other things go, the display looks good actually. That's not really a big deal. The big issue with this device actually is the device is pretty slow. And as I said, this is a 7-inch display. As you know, the iPhone 16 Pro Max got 7.9-inch display, but in terms of form factor, you can fit whole device on this display. Is because of the form factor they are using. So this device looks really big, although it got 7-inch display. And under the hood, this device actually got a quad-core CPU, which is from Speedtron. It's not really great, and 1 GB of RAM, 8 GB of internal storage, and as you can see here, only 1.13 GB available right now. I did install few application here, maybe because of that, but there is nothing much you can do. But we do have SIM card slot and SD card slot here, so you can put SD card on this device. And other things like it also got 2 megapixel front facing camera, and the only speaker it got, it's here actually, earpiece. So if you play any music or anything like that, it's going to use this speaker. So it's not really that great. And on the back, we got another 2 megapixel camera, 3.5mm headphone jack. On top of that, there is a volume rockers and power button. And at the bottom, we got our micro USB port with a microphone hole. So you can make phone calls with this device because it got 3G support, and there is a dialer. Usually today's devices, if they get SIM support, they don't get dialer, so you can't make phone calls. But this one, you can make phone calls, although it's pretty weird to make phone calls with this big device. But the option is available, and you can still send text messages with this device. There is no issue with that, as you can see here. And you can type really comfortably with this device. There is like the keyboard is pretty big for typing. And so as I said, this device released back in 2017. So it was released with Android 6.0, but later on updated to Android 7.0. So now currently it's running on Android 7.0, as you can see here, and the EMUI version is 5.1. So it's running on EMUI, not HarmonyOS. And as you know, Android 7 is still pretty much usable. So as far as usability goes, still you can use like browse internet, and also you can watch YouTube here, although it's going to be slow, and it can play 720p video without any kind of issue. As you can see, it takes long time to load any kind of application. And finally, yes, the YouTube is still working, although it's pretty slow, and whatever you do, if you're going to play any music, it's going to take time. And going back, Play Store is still working because of Android 7.0 is still well supported, and still you can use many applications here. But as far as usability goes, it's slow. As you can see here, Facebook and other things you can download. Going back, I have installed few application here to check actually, and I didn't install new pipe for YouTube purpose, because previously when I was trying to install YouTube, it was quite difficult to install, and somehow it installed. And as you can see here, new pipe is working, although you have to install it manually. And in terms of browser, I installed VIA browser. This browser is pretty lightweight, so it's kind of good for this kind of devices. So the VIA browser works pretty fast here. And if I search Facebook, so as you can see here, it did able to load Facebook without any kind of issue. And also you can like watch YouTube video directly from browser too. So YouTube, if I search, as you can see, in terms of browsing, it is pretty much okay for browsing. It's slow but works. As you can see here, it did able to load the YouTube page. And going back, yes, finally. And I did install a game here, Temple Run. So if I open Temple Run right now, let's see how long it takes to open Temple Run. If it opens the game, you can play it without any kind of issue. But the main issue is it takes a long time to open. Yeah, finally. And if you want more games, you can still install from Play Store, but the experience will be pretty bad. And as you can see here, let me try maybe Subway Surf. So Temple Run 2. Temple Run 2. So Temple Run 2 is available. If I try to install, so it will install without any kind of issue. In terms of gaming, you can still do gaming on this device, but as I said, it's pretty slow. Rather than that, it also got the camera, and the camera sucks. The camera is one of the worst part of this device. The display is good. You can still do gaming and other things, but the camera is pretty bad. 2 megapixel and 2 megapixel. It can shoot up to 720p video. No one going to use this device to shoot any kind of video or take picture, but the camera is available. And rather than that, there is nothing much to talk about this device. The form factor is quite big to use as a phone. For a kid, it's still kind of usable, like they can watch YouTube here. Going to be pretty slow, maybe they will throw it away because it's going to take a long time. And also for gaming purpose also, basically it's not really that great. For even for lightweight gaming also, you can't really do. But for browsing, it's pretty much okay. And I think this is kind of a worst device I have ever used, because I do have few other devices from very old, like Nokia devices, which got 512 MB of RAM and 4 GB of internal storage. They perform much better than this device. For some reason, it's pretty slow and it struggles to run anything. But one positive thing of this device actually is the battery backup. So the battery backup of this device is pretty good, and it lasts pretty long, maybe because of the low resolution display and low spec. And you can still use this device as a hotspot too actually, or you can read books on this device. So if I go to more option, maybe hotspot is available, as you can see here. As this device got 3G, still you can use it as a hotspot or for reading books or for lightweight browsing. But I think it's pretty bad device and it belongs to e-waste bin. So that's all about it. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.